My neighbor hoarded the sidewalk. I let neighborhood go shopping. The sidewalk in front of 402 Elm Street didn't look like a pedestrian walkway anymore. It looked like the aftermath of a natural disaster involving a flea market and a dumpster fire. I stood at my living room window, coffee mug warming my hands, watching Mrs. Gable try to navigate the gauntlet. Mrs. Gable is 82 years old. She uses a walker. And right now, she was being forced to step off the curb into the active roadway because Gary had decided to stack 3 rusty lawnmowers and a tower of water-damaged cardboard boxes directly across the concrete path. I watched a car swerve to miss her. My heart hammered against my ribs. Mrs. Gable looked terrified, her knuckles white on the handles of her walker as she shuffled as fast as she could through the slushy gutter to get back to the safety of the sidewalk past Gary's property line. Gary was sitting on his porch. He was watching her too. He didn't offer to help. He didn't move the lawnmowers. He just took a drag of his cigarette and turned the page of his newspaper. I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly, suffocating sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. It wasn't just annoyance anymore. It was rage. Pure, unadulterated, protective rage. Gary is a free seller. That's what he calls himself. The rest of the neighborhood calls him the hoarder of Elm Street. He buys storage units, estate sales, and bulk trash, and because his garage and house are full, he uses the public sidewalk as his showroom. Inventory overflow, he told me once when I asked him to move a stack of tires. It's temporary. Just walking around it, snowflake. I set my coffee down. I grabbed my coat. I walked out my front door and marched across the street. The air was crisp, biting with the February chill. Gary, I called out. He didn't look up. Busy, Dave. Unless you're buying, keep walking. Mrs. Gable almost got hit by a car, I said, pointing to the lawnmowers. You are blocking a public right-of-way. You need to move this crap. Now. Gary finally looked at me. He had that look, the look of a man who believes he is the smartest person in the room because he found a loophole nobody else cares to exploit. It's not crap, he sneered, flicking his cigarette but onto the lawn. Those are vintage Honda mowers. Parts alone are worth $200 a pop. And it's not blocking the way. There's a good 6 inches there. If she can't fit, maybe she should lose weight. She uses a walker. Gary, I stepped onto his lawn. It's illegal. The city ordinance says you have to keep 36 inches clear. The city, Gary laughed. It was a wet, hacking sound. The city sent me a letter. Warning of encroachment. You know what I did with it? He pointed to a charcoal grill that was rusting near the steps. It was filled with ash. I used it to light the coals. He grinned. They won't do anything. They're underfunded and lazy. By the time they send an inspector, this inventory will be sold and I'll have a new batch. It's a rotating stock, Dave. Can't ticket what isn't there anymore. So you're just going to leave it? I'm running a business, he said, standing up and stretching. This is America. Capitalism. If you don't like looking at it, close your blinds. Now get off my property before I charge you a browsing fee. I looked at the pile. It wasn't just mowers. It was a mountain. Old bicycles with missing chains. Dining chairs with torn upholstery. Stacks of Tupperware. It stretched for 30 feet, creating a wall between the street and his house. Okay, Gary, I said softly. You're right. It is a rotating stock. I walked back to my house. I didn't close my blinds. I opened them wider. I called the city code enforcement again. We have a backlog of 6 weeks, the dispatcher droned. We've noted the complaint. An officer will be out when available. 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, Mrs. Gable would be hit by a delivery truck. I sat there, stewing. I watched Gary come and go. He brought more stuff. He unloaded a van full of antique furniture. Beautiful stuff, actually. A set of 6 Victorian dining chairs. Solid oak. Velvet seats. He stacked them right on the curb, closest to the street, presumably to entice drive-by buyers. He taped a piece of paper to the top chair. Not for sale yet. Pending appraisal. Do not touch. What I'm about to do is risky. If Gary catches me, it's a fistfight. If the cops catch me, it's a vandalism charge or maybe tampering. But I'm betting on human nature. I'm betting on the fact that the scavenger instinct in this city is stronger than the fear of a handwritten, not for sale, sign. I just need to be fast, silent, and willing to wake up at 3 a.m. to ring the dinner bell. To watch full story, kindly follow instructions given on the screen.